Race. In this house we got feng shui. Get the door to blow you away. Flamethrower, you a switchblade. Feet planted on grip tape with my shoulders squared and my back straight. Got a good bass and a loose tongue, notorious in the octagon now. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum. We got people on the way. We want you home in one piece now. They say they sell the information in those terms of agreement. We spent some weekends on the grind. Surveillance is outside. We see when you arrive, ride or die. My son spent some weekends on the grind. Surveillance is outside. We see when you arrive, ride or die. My son. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum. We got people on the way. We want you home in one piece now. You home in one piece now. Ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum, bum. We get bodies every day. We want you home in one piece now. We come for you. No chances. We come for
What's up? Remember me? I suck!
Welcome back to the Byron Show, everybody. I know you're probably wondering why that intro was there and what it was about and like just why. A lot of questions. There is a deeper meaning behind the whole intro, but I'm not gonna tell you because that's the whole point of a deep meaning is it takes some digging. But it's really not that complicated. And did you see the little Easter egg I put in that video? Did you see it? Did you notice? Well, hidden in towards the beginning, you'll see me like grab a pair of pants, and that pair of pants, if you look at the little tag on the hanger, it says 10. That's right, because this is the 10th episode of the Byron Show. We should be on number 13 now because I missed 3. One I didn't really talk about, and well, I didn't talk about any of them. But the last 2 were because I got COVID, and then I went on a trip, and it was just kind of hard to squeeze them in. So I do apologize for the fact that I am behind, but I am going to make up for it. I'm not stopping. I'm still trying to stay steady with this. It's just I need to adjust my schedule to make it work better, and I'm figuring that out still. But I'm not stopping. We're still going. And today we're going to be doing something a little bit different, and that is making lame stuff look not lame. I've seen some videos on photography stuff, like product photography type things, and making objects look cooler than they typically are. Also, a huge facet of photography is being able to make something look or seem better than it actually is. That's part of the art form, I would say. You can take a picture of pretty much anything and make it look cool or interesting in some way. So we're going to be playing with that a little bit. Indoors, setting up some little sets, trying to get some cool shots. Kind of like I did with the whole intro. The intro was also kind of leading up to that. It just showing that, like, literally all I was doing is getting dressed a bunch, and I used a flashlight and some sketchy ways of rigging up some stuff, and I think it turned out pretty cool for, you know, just a tiny video of that with some music behind it. But anyway, we're going to be taking pictures of some boring objects just around my apartment. I'm going to literally, like, go in my closet and, like, look at some stuff, and I'm going to set out some items, and we're going to take pictures of those things and make them look badass. So let's get started. All right, so we got all these items here that you probably saw in that little B-roll that sucked because I don't have a gimbal, and I'm not trying to make this stuff look cool yet because that's the whole point of the video. So it looks lame, okay? But whatever. We have an Instax, Insta-X, I don't know, Mini 11. Someone gifted this to me. It's a Polaroid like type camera. We have that. We also have a pink one over here. It's not mine. Somebody gave it to me. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. I know you're thinking what I'm thinking. This man is on crack. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This man right here is on crack. There was not enough time to do 5 items in a video, and I knew that. But yet I was on crack and decided, I'll tell the audience I'm going to do 5 things, when in reality, that'd be like a goddamn 45-minute video or some shit. So, we're only doing 3, and you're going to like it and love it. So, I don't know what to tell you. Peace out. So for this first photo, I'm going to be taking some Instax cameras and shooting them side by side. Oh, that's a keeper. With the paper coming out of the top of both of them with a picture of the opposite one in the paper. So that's my goal, and I want a white background. So I set up the white background. I put a lot of lighting on it. We got a little light in the front and 2 side. It's important to get a lot of light in a shot like that because you want it to be really sharp. So you don't want to have to crank your ISO that high. So I was trying to get as much light to bounce off that white background as I could. And it also makes it a little easier in the editing process because you don't have to brush out as much. Now I ended up shooting this photo on these settings, and it came out very sharp. I also had to go in and raise the exposure around all the white stuff to get it to be pure white, and then go in and brush very carefully around everything, especially the white photo paper, because it almost like blends right into the background, so you have to be very precise with it so it doesn't look smudgy. And then I had to get in the fine little areas with small brushes, and I think it came out pretty good. I left a little of the shadow in front so it kind of looks like it's still sitting on something. And then I went ahead and took separate photos of each camera because the Polaroid photos didn't show up. I actually did try to take them with the cameras themselves, but they showed up pure white, probably because the background was just too bright for them, because they have a flash that automatically goes off. So I just took more photos of the cameras by themselves, and now, as you can see, I edited this pretty much the same way, just a little faster. It wasn't too touchy with them because they're so small that you would never notice any like brush. And then I went into Photoshop. You would never notice any minor brush problems in them. It was both in focus. You would never notice any minor brush. And then I went ahead. They're good. And took several photos of each camera. I feel like it turned out pretty good. I even didn't show up. So I just photoshopped the cameras themselves. So I just took more photos of the camera. I even slapped the Instax logo in there. As you can see, I edited this pretty much the same way, just a little faster. And Instax. So the next photo I'm going to be working on is the one with the cards. And for this one, I had to do everything by myself. Obviously, I did everything by myself for the previous shot because I am lonely and I wish I had friends. So I had a difficult time catching focus for this shot because I literally just set a manual focus and then I tried to just flick out the cards while burst shooting off my phone to try and get them in that range. I'd say the hardest thing about this shot was getting it in focus. It was really difficult by myself, but I did get good sharp focus on the top two cards in this photo, and I feel like the blur of the bottom card with the heart looks really cool. And I think it looks cool with my hands in there and my face. It kind of looks like a card master guy or something like that, or like a guy who does magic tricks. I don't do any of that, but I thought it turned out kind of cool. And then I have another one where I just completely blacked out my hands and everything. So the cards just look like they're floating around. And that looks pretty sick too. I don't know. This is probably my favorite one right here. For the card photo though, it was mostly just settings. I didn't have to brush too much in. There was some little masking I did on the cards and stuff to brighten them up a little bit and my hands and stuff like that. But nothing crazy. I didn't want to Photoshop too much into it. I felt like I just wanted to leave it kind of simple because it kind of has a good feel to it. I don't know. I kind of like it the way it is. So let me know what you think of that, if you think that I made that look less lame. For the last photo, I am going to be taking a 20-gallon fish tank and filling it up with water. You may have seen this in another video if you follow Peter McKinnon. If you don't know who Peter McKinnon is, it's probably because you don't care much about camera stuff. But if you do know about camera stuff and you don't know who Peter McKinnon is, give him a follow because he has a lot of useful information to help further your photography knowledge as well as cinematography. He always is posting cool stuff and it's always inspiring and actually helps my work move forward and helps me progress and learn a lot in photography. So I'm very grateful for his videos. But he posted a video about 2 years ago of taking a water tank and putting like an Insta360 camera in there and dropping it. He had a friend drop it, and then he did product photography of that because he wanted to make a photo that was better than their websites. And I think his photo did turn out way better than the websites. Looks awesome. And he showed you how to do it in that video. You can go ahead and watch it. I'll put it in the link down in the description. So I am going to be copying his setup by filling up a tank. It's a bigger one. It's definitely heavier, but I got it up there and filled it up with water. I lit it as best as I could. You know, I don't have $1 million like Peter McKinnon. So starting off over here, I just have a Aperture 300D light shining just overhead to really, you know, highlight the top of that water and get a lot of light in there because that's what we're going to need. And then I just have a few tabletop little aperture lights that I set up on the side and up front here for the camera key light. And yeah, so hopefully that does something cool. This is actually a bigger tank than the one Peter did. I think his was like a, I don't know, 10-gallon or something like that. This is a 20-gallon, so it's pretty freaking big and pretty freaking heavy. I had to fill up the rest of this with like a water pail. Yeah. And then I got the camera set up over here. Oh. And then I got the camera set up back here to go ahead and take that shot. And it's on it. It's ready to go. You know, I don't have $2,000 lights like Peter McKinnon, but I have what I have, and I was making do with what I have. Because even he says that all the time, that, you know, you just got to make it unique, make it yours, do it how you have to do it, make it work. So that's exactly what I did. I took the lights I had, I lit as best as I could, and I feel like the settings I had were what I pretty much had to shoot with. I didn't want to shoot with that high of an ISO, but I kind of had to because of the lighting, and I feel like I got a pretty decent shot out of it. Let me know what you think. I did have to brush out some of the bubbles, and I brushed in and kind of contrasted some stuff, but a lot of the rest is just editing in Lightroom. And I might have photoshopped something in to that photo to make it a little more interesting, so it's not just like the same kind of photo exactly as Peter McKinnon. But I might not have, because I do like the simple look of it. I just kind of wanted to mimic what he had done, because I want to know that I can do it. I want to know that I'm capable of doing it, because it looks really cool, and I want to know I'm capable of getting those kind of photos even by myself. That was the main struggle with this one. I was literally just shooting on a 10-second timer, and it would shoot 5 images, and it would be in manual focus. So I'd have the camera focus on it. Okay, tap camera, run over, grab camera, drop it, hope that it landed within the focus range and that the camera snapped the shot at the right time. And it almost never did land in the focus range, and it almost never did get snapped at the right time. But it finally started getting better. I started dropping it at a better time, I guess, or it just floated just right, and I was able to get the shot that I'm satisfied with. I would like it to be sharper, and it could be sharper. It definitely could be, but I would need somebody. It's just too hard to get that sharp. I would be there for hours and hours on end trying to get it to land in that perfect spot. Even Peter McKinnon's video, it took him a long time with help. So it just shows how much having someone to assist you with your photos can help a ton, because you are the photographer. It is a lot easier to be behind the camera when doing that kind of stuff. Otherwise, it gets a little more complicated. But you can get it done. This is proof of that fact. And this is my unique edit of that same thing that he was doing. So yeah, GoPro, if you like need someone to shoot for you or anything, you know, like I'm here. You can give me a free GoPro and I'll review it on the Byron show, and I'll do product photography of it. That's just a pitch, you know, it's not a big deal. But overall, these pictures I shot, I am very proud of. It's my first time really experimenting with product photography. I've like took a picture of like an axe can before. Other than that, like literally haven't really messed around with it at all. So that was really cool. And then the cards, I think that turned out really cool. The blacked out background, just kind of something a little different that I don't normally do. And definitely made cards look more interesting than they typically would when you think about cards. And I feel like the GoPro photo is what I'm most stoked on. It feels so good to snap something that looks very similar to professional work that I admire from another artist. So I'm very proud of that, and I'm excited to see where I can go with knowing more about this in the future. And maybe I can make videos where I can teach even more about the subject in the future. It's just I'm learning it right now, so I'm trying to get better at it. But when I do get it locked down and I feel like I know exactly what I need to do and when I need to do it, then I'll definitely start making more instructional videos about it. But for now, I'm just kind of showing you guys what I do at home, because you can do it too, and I'm just showing you what I go through to get the photos I get. And maybe that's enough to inspire you to get some cool photos too, because you can definitely do it, and you can definitely put your own twist on it. Doesn't matter what camera you have, doesn't matter what lighting you have, it definitely can be done. You don't need really expensive gear. You really don't. But you just need imagination and motivation. So get out there and use both those things, because not a lot of people do anymore. So do that, please. I'd be interested to see any photos that you do similar to mine. So if you are thinking about doing anything from this video, please let me know. Show me, tag me in something that you post, because I would love to see it. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will get better at being weekly with the show again. I just got off a little bit there. But I had a lot of fun with this one. And yeah, I guess that's it. I'll see you guys later.